Evening and welcome along for the third instalment of our Wigan Athletic Beta live stream series. It's been an eventful 2 evenings so far, and after that we are finally starting our season today. Probably just a couple of cup games and maybe the first League One in store, depending on how busy the transfer side of things is. But as it stands, we've got a big day coming up today. So I hope you're looking forward to it. Thank you for those who are waiting, ready to get started. If you're looking forward to it, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe for regular content from the podcast. And please do come and say hello in the chat. It does make such a difference. It's nice to see you all along. L Gaming, welcome along. Thank you for coming and joining. You'll only be in for about 20 minutes today. No problem at all. We probably won't be live for quite as long as normal. Just because we're doing another podcast this evening. So hopefully we'll be able to get through these few games and just get one or two more faces in. So for those of you that have missed the first couple, what we've been doing as we've been going along is we've been picking up different players. The weekend is here, Tom, yes. And for you, for the first time, that means something. But very good to see, and hopefully you'll all have an enjoyable one. But in terms of this series so far, we spent episode 1 for 4 or 5 weeks so frustrated because we couldn't get anyone in. We were under transfer embargo, there was no takeover, we couldn't even get free agents. That was the problem. That's the difficulty. But unfortunately, subscribe for regular podcasts. Is that what I said? Sorry, I meant for regular videos. I'm all over the place today. But we are coming along. The second episode we were trying to get players in. We did manage to get a few in the end, and I've made one more loan bid. So what I've done off camera, just before we started today, I've made my tactic for this game, and I've done the one other thing that you can organically do. I've gone to my favourite club and I've said, please, 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 can I have someone? And they've offered me a former Wigan player in Tunnicliffe. He's on the transfer list, but they've offered me if I pay 2/3 of his wages, he can come in. Lee Evans, our star midfielder, is on international duty, and we've only got 2 or 3 more who are quite injury prone. So that guy could be someone useful for us. And he's played championship football in real life. We're still waiting for Jack Clark, of course, to find out if he'll come and join us. And we brought in a couple of French fullbacks, Carlos Sanchez, Joel Lynch and Nambi Oberthorpe, yesterday. That is the worst pronunciation of that name you will ever see. I did say the podcast, sorry. Me and Craig did an episode earlier for the podcast and there were not many coherent sentences in it. I think I've done about 4 videos already today for Load FM as well. So if tomorrow and Sundays are bad, you know the reason. But thank you for those of you that have come along. It's great to have you here this evening. Friday evening, so I'm sure everyone is looking forward to the weekend. But let's go and get into our first game. It is Middlesbrough at home, a very tough test, a Neil Warnock test, of course, in the Carabao Cup. And we are not expecting to get much out of this. So the assistant manager is already recommending 3 changes to the team I've picked, which doesn't sound very good to me. Did I not put the lone player in there? I'm sure I did. Why is he not showing as available then? I'm having real trouble with this, and I don't know what I'm doing. This young player who's come on loan to us, he's not showing in the first team squad. And I don't know why. If I tick this, then hopefully he should go into the 11, shouldn't he? So let's see what that does. He's there, but look, he's not there. Can someone explain this to me? I don't understand why he's there. He's available in the squad. He's clearly our player and he's playing in the lineup. But he does not show on this side of the screen. And I haven't got anything ticked or unticked that I wouldn't normally, I don't think. Ah, there we go. Does not need to be registered. Finally, I've solved the dilemma because that was doing my head in, I can assure you. So let's get rid of the under 18s and 23s. In the backup team, we've got everyone bar Dan Gardner, essentially. And the rest of the squad looks like that. So Oberthorpe, his best role is a box-to-box midfielder. Sanchez is only a ball winner, I think. But I don't know that we need a playmaker back there. Not the way we're playing. So I might chuck him in as box-to-box. Just see if he can produce some magic for us. Because why not? He's got good physical stats. He's good technically, both defensively and not bad going forward. And he works hard. Seems a good idea. So I have left Caelan Hines, one of the new signings, on the bench. Joel Lynch I am putting back in for Johnson. I know that they're recommending that I start them. I think it's just because they don't like 2 left-footed centre-halves. But I'm going to go for it because it's no different to having 2 right-footers, is it? Wrexham are in League 2. Hire me. Is that in your save, isn't it? You managed to get them up. Charlie, I'm going to be taking up walking football after the pandemic. Absolutely, yeah. He was... we talked to the walking football manager for England, didn't we, on the podcast? I think that's just come out. And he was a lovely bloke. He seemed really interested in the sport. And it's a good option for people like me, you and Craig, who have all had hundreds of injuries. So let's go and get into this first game, a 4-2-3-1. We've just fit a team in that has decent qualities in their roles. It's the best we can do in a bad situation. Hopefully by the time we get to next Saturday, after the trophy match and forward to next Saturday for the league, we'll have 3 or 4 more additions to this team. So let's go and get into it. The first game of the season, and it is going to be a difficult day at the office. 3 players getting squad numbers. We're not worried about them. Everyone's concerned. They haven't gelled. The team cohesion's awful. 3 or 4 joined in the last week. The rest of them probably joined in the summer. And we've not been able to put these teams together beforehand. So we're not in a good position, to be brutally honest. Owen, Wigan jobs available in real life if you want it. Absolutely. We just recorded a podcast on that literally an hour ago. Obviously, Sheridan's gone over to Swindon now, hasn't he? Wellands had gone to Salford. So the managerial merry-go-round is right back in there. Craig, you ran 5.21 kilometres in 28 minutes in your back. I certainly couldn't do that these days. Gaming seems too hard if... Yeah, exactly. Within a week, it's too much. I'm shocked with my Twitter. You liking my tweet and the Honest Football Podcast following. You've got Charlie to thank. He is on the ball in terms of social media. Britta Sombalonga, show onto his weaker foot. He's a lot better than us. And we're coming up against the mighty Neil Warnock. And he's gone basically first 11 there. We're going to be in big trouble in this one. So we're just going to try and hold out as long as possible. We're underdogs here. Let's go and try and cause an upset. And Solomon Otterbor is demotivated by that. Jamie Jones is complacent against the top championship team. I just don't really understand. So let's get these other things up. I don't know why it doesn't save from one save to the other. I suppose you could do different on some of them. But there we go. Back to key highlights. We don't need to see too much of this. I'm sure Middlesbrough will have enough without us giving more. Thank you for everyone that's coming in though. Lovely to have so many of you here. Please do chuck a thumbs up if you haven't already. Come and get involved. Say hello. Let me know who you're managing in FM. Elgame, if there's a takeover, I'll apply. Owen, thank God Sheridan has gone. Poor attitude to young players and has won 3 games out of 15. I mean, I'm not going to judge the second bit because I don't think many managers would get more results out of that team. But the attitude thing does seem to be across the board from the Wigan fans. So, can't be made up. But yeah, we'll have our podcast out on that tomorrow or later this evening. It's a very interesting situation. I don't quite know what's going to happen at Wigan because the takeover news has gone quite quiet, which is obviously more of a concern in the long term. But as I've seen with Luton before, it doesn't matter how many relegations you get. As long as you've still got a club to support, that's the main thing. As Sanchez picks it up in the middle, we're playing some pretty nice football here. Sanchez goes left to Lang, the star man who we got back from his loan, and now it's into Offerborth, and it's up to Sanchez, to Roberts. No physical quality, but he's still got that technical class. Out to one of the French wing-backs. No English speakers in the full-back areas. And here's Sanchez again. A little bit glitchy, actually. It's played by Garner to Solomon Obator. Oh, it's disallowed for offside. Oh, he scored an absolute screamer, and it's disallowed. That is such a shame. Carl, happy Friday, waiting for the takeaway to arrive. Good to hear. We're having homemade chilli tonight, so definitely a good one for us. Yeah, what takeaway? Good question. I could get more results with that team. No, that Wigan team is very light on the ground. There's not a lot of experience in there. It's so easy to say we could do better than the manager, but we probably couldn't. Ryan and Rob are coming on Monday. You hope so at Wrexham. You're waiting for the Ryan Reynolds brigade, are you? They won't be allowed in the UK, will they yet? I'm sure they'll find a way around it if they had to. But thank you for everyone coming in. It's great to have you involved in the chat. Please do chuck a thumbs up on the stream. It helps people find us and get involved. As a Sombalonga's in here, it did not take long, did it? 34 minutes we hold out. And Britta Sombalonga has put Middlesbrough ahead. We are going to need reinforcements. We know this game's a write-off, essentially. They've dominated the match. They're deservedly ahead. But we're giving the best we can. That's all we can ask for. It's a wing free kick for Middlesbrough. Into the box. Bola heads just wide. Can we keep it at 1 till half-time? The big question now. Why didn't James Collins come on yesterday for Ireland when they scored 1 in 6? I don't know. And why Ronan Curtis, a striker who's less prolific in League One than James Collins is in the Championship, comes on first? I don't know. And I stick by it. Collins would have scored last night. Cole, you're going for the classic evening one, are you? Donna and Son with a pizza. Absolutely no problems with that. If you vote for that and a Wrexham fan, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. But you never know with the takeovers. You never know. Look at what's going on at Charlton again now. They were singing the praises when they got the new guy in, and now there's all sorts of legal trouble yet again. It's something you have to be careful of. People, because they're frustrated with what's in at the moment, they always want change, but you don't necessarily know if it's better. Charlie, you're spot on. What a Friday that is for Carl. Yeah, he's definitely the king of the evening so far. Absolutely. One League Two for Queen's Park and just deciding to go to Hearts or not. You've got to go. You've got to go. Craig, you're involved on Twitter as well. I'm the slowest of the lot. As we've equalised. Oh my word, where did that come from? Palmieri, the new experienced left-back with a brilliant cross, and Joe Garner slots it in. It's 1-1. That's not what we expected this evening, is it? I am sort of regretting starting Otterball here. I know he had that screamer that was ruled out, but he's a super sub with his electric pace. I think his rating's 17 or 18, and we could have started somebody else. We've got a few options there, but it's cleared away to a Sombalonga, who has been a class above on the front foot. He skinned one defender. He's got one more to beat. Just goes over the bar with the shot. It's fair to say that the DW is sparsely populated, but with 25 to go, the fans that are here will be delighted. So let's go and make some changes. Just 20 or so left. I'm going to replace a couple of the attacking players. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet, though. So Hines is going to come on for Gary Roberts. I think that one's set in stone. Oh, why have we got tactical instructions there? We don't need a tutorial. We've got loads of saves on this machine. So, Shadow Striker for Hines. Let's try and get him in behind Garner. We're going to put Naismith on the left wing, a former Cliftonville hero in FM20 for us. And then on the right-hand side, we're going to put Callum Lang, who's a natural out there as well. And in midfield, we haven't really got any good subs, so I'm just going to replace Joel Lynch. He's on a yellow. Johnson was recommended to start by the assistant anyway. So let's get those three on. 15 to go. Can we get to penalties? The lottery's probably the best chance we've got. But the ball in the box, headed against the post. The clearance is botched, but we get there eventually. And Wing crosses in a third time. Hines heads away. Naismith can counter here. Can we create a shock? Can Naismith down the left against Wigan's first team. Middlesbrough's first team, sorry. But it's finally out for a throw. Let me catch up with the chat very quickly. I'm struggling to keep up with the excitement of both there. Yeah, but your last owners, you never know if the new ones are going to be better. Carl, it's a no-brainer. I'm tempted for Hearts as they've got an immense youth academy. Yeah, a lot of teams in the UK have, and Hearts are one of many. And once you move to your 2,000 facility with Queen's Park, don't forget, as we go to penalties, you can't then ask for a new stadium for 20 years. So if you get to the top, you're stuck in a 2,000-seater. And when we were at Cliftonville, we then ended up playing our European games away and everything else. So I'd go for Hearts if I were you. But sure, safe. Go for the one that suits you best. If you want to get to the top with Queen's Park, it's very easy to get attached to players, isn't it? So we're just setting our penalty takers up there. Let me catch up with the chats before the shootout. As we've reached double figures, thank you to everyone coming in. Please chuck a thumbs up. Come and get involved in the chat. Your support does make a difference. The channel's growing immensely and I can't thank you enough. The head coach was a big one today as well. Bit of a surprise there. Bangor City this morning did better than the days before actually. So I don't know what to say. I can't thank you enough. You haven't mentioned that you correctly predicted Scotland to make it to the Euros. What can I say? David Marshall, the hero. I've always rated him as well. Should you make a journeyman save? I always enjoy them because you have less control. And when did Scotland become a Neil Warnock team? They weren't last night. They dominated that match, Craig. They were fantastic. They were attacking. They have flair. Ryan Christie's goal was fantastic. They weren't a hard to beat Neil Warnock side there. They were a very good attacking side. They surprised a lot of people with that. So let's go and get into the shootout. What can we do, boys? How are they demotivated by come on, give it your best? It's not even a statement, really. Joe Garner's up first. The man who got us to this shootout. Oh, he's hit the post. Oh, you can't be a hero for the whole 90, can you? Well, you can, but then not in the penalty shootout. Asombalonga, the other goal scorer. He steps up. No mistake from him. Just inside the post this time. And that's us probably out. Ashish, welcome along. What's your fitness routine? Real life or FM? If it's real life, not a great deal. Go for a walk every day and a bit of the bike in front of the football in the evening. The exercise bike, that is. If it's FM, I leave it to the assistant mainly, and then if we have a poor performance, I put in extra fitness and defending set pieces. And if not, we go with the flow. I focus more on the individual training in FM. Saka man of the match. I don't know about that. He was very good though. We're still doing well in this shootout. We haven't missed since. And we've got half a chance. As in hard to beat. Yeah, I thought they were better than that though. I thought Serbia were the ones that looked hard to beat when Scotland were dominating them. That Luton striker is good. Oh, you had Danny Hilton on loan, didn't you? Yeah, he's a very good player. Is there any difference between the white stars and the black stars from last year? No, I think it's just so it looks better on the match skin. As we go ahead in this shootout, Middlesbrough have missed their third. We've scored our fourth. But yeah, it's just the equivalent. But I think it's because it's a darker skin in FM. It's just so it stands out and is visible. Dale Fry makes it 3-3. We're into sudden death here. Liverpool's injuries. FM throwing water bottles. I've only done it once so far, I think. Oh, Kalen Hines has missed. We just got back on terms. The two centre forwards, naturally, are the ones that have missed in this shootout, and that has to be a concern. And now Middlesbrough step up to win it. We've done a great job to get the penalties. We didn't expect that. But it looks like that's going to be it, I'm afraid. Middlesbrough have the kick to get through in the Carabao Cup. We could have done with the prize money, but it is going to be gone. Middlesbrough throw on penalties, and with their first team, they should be pretty embarrassed with that, as our just strung together 11 managed to hold them, and in the end had a couple of good days. So I'm just going to say I can't fault any of you. It's one of those days, and the same two players are demotivated. I don't know what to say to them. Yeah, the Liverpool injury thing's a bit unlucky, but they've got enough good players. They don't deserve that much of a sympathy. There's plenty of clubs like me with Wigan here who can barely put 11 together. What's with me and pens? Just doesn't work out, does it? Ashish, what's your favourite bit of the game so far? So I love the matchday experience. The match engine's really improved. I love the team sheet bit. The expected goals is really cool. I love the little feature in the mentoring groups. It'll pop up in tomorrow's Bangor episode. I've talked about it a bit. It might be the Breaking one on Sunday, actually. I really love the mentoring groups. There's a couple of tweaks to that. It's just every area is so much more polished. And for years, there's always these big headline features to get the game sold. But they've sort of catered for their fans this year. And they've just improved every area. Made it slick. Made it look better. Even when the match is playing, the way it's laid out is much nicer on the screen. It's just a really smooth game. So I'm absolutely delighted with it. I think it's by far the best edition we've had. We've got lots of press here this evening. So let's have a look at the questions we're going to get. I'm presuming there'll be a lot. Only 4 questions when there's 8 or 9 media people in. Seems a bit weird. But we've potentially got Tunnicliffe and Jack Clark on the way in. We've got more players being scouted. We'll keep an eye on the transfer rumours. We've got 45 minutes to get it done. We'll get to rotate a few if we've got any more squad members for the trophy match. And we're not going to worry about that competition too much. Best penalty shootout from real life. What was that one the other year that was 14-15 or something? It was a brilliant shootout. I can't remember what the teams were though. I missed your question. Let me catch up. Where's your question? If you said, should you make a journeyman? I said yes. If it's older than that, yeah, I've missed it, I'm afraid. Morsey gets one over Wigan Athletic, makes me depressed. Yeah, he was a brilliant leader for them, wasn't he? So unfortunate to be part of a relegation side, but it is what it is. And unfortunately, Sam Morsey might be a Premier League player next year in real life because Neil Warnock's off to a flyer there. I played the very first Champ Manager in 92. Carl, you are dedicated. I was 13, 12 when the 05 game came out. 12. No, not even that. I was 11 when the 05 game came out. So that Christmas, so Christmas 2004 was the first time I had Football Manager. Before that, it was LMA on the PS2 for us. I was obsessed with Premier Manager and Football Director 2 was great. Premier Manager, was that on the PS1? I think I've got that. I'm sure I've still got Premier Manager 2000 if it's the game I'm thinking of. If not, I'll take a picture after and put it on Twitter to see. And I'll put it in the Discord as well, so you can tell me if it's the same one. Best FA Cup semi-final in 2014 against Wigan. Kim Kallstrom in his infamous broken back. Yeah, that wasn't a bad shootout, was it? I'm sure Wigan were happy enough the years before. Let's have a look at the choosing a captain. Joe Garner's the current skipper. And Lee Evans is the vice captain. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to rock the boat here. Can I make Joe Garner the captain? It seems to be choosing other options for me. It's just slowed down a little bit here. It's one of the few things I have noticed with the beta is when you go to an in window. It's like when you have the pop-up short messages, when you go to a profile, it's a little bit slower. Otherwise, I mean, that's not bad for a beta, is it? So Joe Garner and Lee Evans, let's confirm that. And we'll keep an eye out for transfers and we'll go and have a look at the rumours in a second too. The press conferences, they're a bit more varied than this year. You can get reactions out of the media. You can spin people in and out of your direction. And you have to be a bit more careful with your answers. So I'd say they're worth attending. You wouldn't want to go to all of them or you'd get bored. But certainly worth going to some of them. I tried to do the sign-ins and the post-match ones. Best pen easy. England v Colombia. Yeah, obviously nationally that would have been a good one for us. Favourite non-league team? Stockport County for me, definitely. The other Hatters. I've always had a soft spot. I can't tell you the reason why. Funniest miss, Torres v United. Sterling's was funny. Yeah, Torres was better. You're probably too young to remember the Torres one, are you? Because you would have only been about 4 or 5. But the Torres one against United was a brilliant one. Remember an Iceland striker called Sigborsson? I do, but I don't remember where from. Unless it was just that game. Did he play in England at some point? I don't know if I'm mixing him up with somebody else. I'll have to go back and have a look after the stream. Because I'm really not sure. Thank you for everyone coming in as well. Great to have so many of you here. Please do chuck a thumbs up if you haven't. Sorry, Stockport, I know they're probably going to beat you to the title this year. Even though I predicted Wrexham. But one of those things. Charlie White recommended, but we can't afford the fee. Declan John, not good enough. They're only 3-star. Darren Pratley. Jeez, that's a blast from the past. Let's have a look at the rumours. Are we linked with anybody else? No. Rowan Ince is linked with Ipswich. We've sort of sorted holding midfield. It's one of the few positions we don't need to improve. Elanga on loan? No. Tottenham's young Pochettino. His son is available. He's not bad, actually. Henry Lawrence from Chelsea to Ipswich. Not good enough, but versatile. We've looked at those 3. Ethan Galbraith. Oh, he's had an upgrade, isn't he? Another former Cliftonville hero. He looks a cracking player this year. But don't forget, we've got Lee Evans to come back into midfield. And ideally, I'd like to sort out some other positions. But the only one that keeps coming up is Lee Evans. Stefan Johansson on loan. Too much money. Why are there no other players bar centre mids? It's very strange, isn't it? Let's have a look at the scout reports. Are there any others in there? Only youngsters. And they're not first team ready, most of them. And all the rest are transfer fees, which we can't pay. It's getting really frustrating, this, I've got to say. We put them in order of ability. Williams rejected us. Cater, we've covered that position. Maybe Nathan Dyer is the man. But I think he still wants too much in terms of wages. So if we put him as a squad player... he only wants 3.5 now. So should we just do it? Let's get Nathan Dyer in. He's got a reputation. He's still got a little bit of physicality. And if we can get rid of that clause so it's only a 1-year deal, it won't hurt the club. So he wants a bit more money than that. We'll try and get him at 3.2. 3.3 I think is my limit. And if we do that, we'll knock the rest down a bit. There we go. So Nathan Dyer could be the next one in. I don't think there's many others we'd consider about here. Harvey White's at Tottenham, so we could probably get him without a wage contribution. No, they don't even want to loan him out now. Don't forget in the last episode, Spurs agreed to be our parent club, which is why we're looking at theirs. Into double figures again. Thank you everyone for coming along. Was Torres when he rounded the keeper and it was on his left? No, he was on his right. I'm sure he was on his right. He was a wonder kid on Champ Manager. Ah, so maybe that's where I've heard of him. Impressed with your usage of Icelandic letters, Carl. Copy and paste. He's not taking credit. Fair play. Best EFL playoff game and foreign import. The playoff game, as much as I hate to say it, it has to be that Watford-Brighton one, doesn't it? It has to be. It's probably the best moment. That's probably going to be my Streets Won't Forget or whatever it is. Foreign import is definitely Mahrez for 400 grand. Definitely in this decade anyway. Or the last decade. Why not Wrexham? I don't know. I've just always liked Stockport. And the same for Torquay as well. I know we managed them on FM, but I always had a soft spot for them. But they were always EFL growing up, as was Stockport, to be fair. Yeah, Craig, was Torres missed? Was it right or left foot? I'm sure it was right. Oh, it was left. Sorry. There you go. That makes it less bad, I guess, doesn't it? Thank you for your thumbs up, everyone. Please do get involved in the chat if you know along. Great to have you all in. Let's have a look to see if there's anyone else available from Spurs on loan that's worth having. I don't think so. I think we're stuck with what we got, to be honest. Any more in the senior squad that they'd be happy to let us have? Somehow I don't think so. I just want them to put Tananga on the loan list, because what a signing he'd be. But he's going to be involved in their first team squad, so I don't blame them. And why would he come to League One? The same as Roden yesterday. Alex Song's going to leave after his trial. He wanted too much money. So we're not going to be getting him in. We've got Port Vale. A League 2 side are probably going to beat our reserves, but we haven't got much of a reserve team anyway. I'm going to call it the EFL Trophy so the stream doesn't get demonetised again like the first one did. Sign-in time. Ryan Tunnicliffe from Luton Town. My favourite club have saved the day. So that should complete our midfield. Just gives us a bit of quality and rotation in there. Only rated 3-star, but he's that clear fourth choice, which really helps us out. So I'm pleased to have him in there. I wonder if they've got anyone else on the transfer list. That's what I'd normally do if I managed a lower league club. Go begging to Nathan Jones. What are they about in the squad? It looks like just Martin Craney, who we've looked at already. And maybe for his versatility we get him, but he is a bit slow and past his best. But I'm going to do it, I think. They want $2,000 a month. Are we over the wage budget? Oh, we are, but we can put it up a little bit, I think. So let's take that transfer budget right down. And we should be able to offer Craney. And if that can give us a bit more of versatility in the squad, we haven't got backup centre-halves of it stand. We haven't got someone who can play left-back, hold in midfield. That should do the rest of the job for us. The rest of them, I don't think we can get in. I did look at Hilton after L Gaming said it for Wrexham, but it's a year too soon. So unfortunately, it's not to be. They bought Chris Solly in. That's happened in nearly every save as well. But if we can get Craney, I think we've got a squad that might stay up, and that's all we can really ask for. Let's catch up with the chat. Still on the quest to blow up my Wrexham accounts for the interview. You should try and get a Wrexham player just to give you a short interview. If there's some with open DMs on Twitter. That's how we got most of our podcast interviews. And there's so many footballers who are kind and say yes. Watford v Leicester. Sorry, yeah, Watford Leicester. That's the one I meant. I never think I know it all. Don't you be silly. Danny Jeffrey, welcome along. Should I get the game on Xbox? I'm planning to. Obviously, it hasn't been announced yet as a full release, the date. But I'm planning to give it a go. So if it's as good, I'd recommend it, yeah. I'm interested to see what it's like. But it is, as L Gaming says, its main thing is computer or laptop. So yeah, I would suggest if you can PC. But if not, the Xbox is going to be a good alternative for many. See you later, L Gaming. It did get demonetised, yeah, because we talked about a lot of food brands in the first one. So I'm going to deliberately ignore the name of this trophy and call it the EFL Trophy instead. Let's see if we can add a couple more coaches. Joe Dunn looks great. Danny Cadamartri, not quite so good, but a name I recognise. So let's add Joe Dunn to the coaching team. Try and get the best out of the players we've got here, ideally. He accepts that deal, and he's a very good coach. Kevin Randolph, performance analyst. Doesn't look great, and I don't think that's our priority, is it? Under 18s assistant manager. None of them are great. Space for another scout. Payton's at Colchester, so we can't afford that. We can't get people out of their contracts. Recruitment analyst, free transfer. Why not? The one thing we definitely need help with is recruitment, so let's put all of our focus into that area. And we've got to look at physio, but I think we've got the team complete now. So it's just the under 23 ones they're looking at. And none of these guys are that great. The other one was, he's unemployed, so we'll try and get him in. Oh, it's a lady, sorry, Orla Doolin's going to come in. So let's get them on a 3-year deal. And hopefully she'll add to the medical team. Happy days. We're starting to fill a squad here. And we're starting to fill a backroom team as well. Maybe there won't just be hundreds of empty seats on the bench around us next game. Ross, hello, welcome in. Thanks, appreciate you coming in. Have you signed anyone? Yeah, so we've got a few in. The first 4 or 5 weeks, we couldn't get any players in because we were in transfer embargo. It blocked free agents, loans and everything. We got taken over by a tycoon-led consortium, but they haven't given us a transfer budget. They've just cleared the debt. Since then, though, we've brought in 2 French wing-backs, Caelan Hines, Joel Lynch, Offerbor on loan from Bournemouth, Ryan Tunnicliffe on loan from Luton, and Carlos Sanchez, the former West Ham and Villa man. We're not using the player search screen. We're not using the staff search screen. So we're not just going for a free-for-all. We did lose a couple of players early on as well. Tom Pearce went out on loan, but we got him back. And Gavin Massey left for Barnsley. He was the biggest earner at the club. So that's where we are at the moment. We're trying to get Martin Cranian on loan from Luton as well. And then it's just checking for the odd one. Can we get a loanee in? Can we find somebody? A couple of players who haven't got clubs yet. We're trying to get them in. And we're just having a look through sort of the rumour mill, the director of football suggestions, the scout reports. But we've only just built the off-the-field team as well. So not much happening just yet. Though we have got a parent club in Tottenham. And they are sending us Jack Clark. A hero for anyone who was following the Cliftonville save in FM20. Will know he came in and had a bit of a star. And hopefully he'll be able to add as well. Exactly, considering the embargo, we've done quite well. And I'm hoping we'll be able to stay up. Danny, thanks, no problem at all. Carl, you're getting the Xbox Series X. I'm always miles behind on consoles. I normally get them about 4 or 5 years after they come out. So, I've only had an Xbox One a couple of years, so we'll leave it for now. Hopefully it is on Xbox One and not just the new game. Craig, so I'm guessing the Premier League have decided to put them all back on for free then. So Fulham v Everton on BBC One, good. It's not going to hurt them really to put 10 or 15 games a year, and it should happen regardless of the pandemic. 10 or 15 Premier League and Championship games a year on the BBC. There used to be 10 Championship ones as well. Inspire kids into playing football. It's not the hardest thing to do. Jack Clark joins the club, 3.5-star ability winger. Good. Squad depth is coming along. If we can name a decent bench, I'll be happy. We've got the EFL Trophy Match now. So the assistant's recommending lots of changes and we're going to do just that. Anyone from the first team we can rest, we will. So let's get Jones in goal. The unhappy man he is as well. Nearly swore again at him. He really annoyed me in episode 1. Darnell Johnson can come in. Who else can we bring into the team? I'm tempted to bring Evans in because he was away on international duty. Clearly didn't get much game time. Oh no, started 1 and sub 1. But I really need him for the weekend. So who else can we play at the back? We've only really got the 2 centre-halves. Cal Naismith can be a backup at left back. Not ideal, but he'll do a job. And does that mean then Tom Pearce can play centre-half? I don't know. It says Naismith's the centre-half. So should we go for that? Tom Pearce left back. Cal Naismith centre-half alongside Lynch or Tilt. Who's got the best physicals? 15 natural fitness. Lynch, they're about the same. But Curtis Tilt's younger, so we'll bring him in instead. All left-footed, the centre-halves. So the midfield 3 at the weekend is going to be Evans, Offerbor, and... who's going to be the third? I think it'll be Sanchez, possibly. So Tunnicliffe will definitely play. He's a natural ball winner. He can play box-to-box, so either or. Matty Palmer, who is a playmaker or a box-to-box. So let's get him in as well. Alex Perry's not great. We could bring him into the team note if we wanted to. Or we could go for Dan Gardner in the number 10, which I think is the option we're going to take. So the starting wingers at the weekend, we'll put Will Keane up front for now. The starting wingers are going to be, I think, Jack Clark and Callum Lang with Garner up front. So that means we'll have Otterbor spare, we'll have Hines spare, and they'll be our 2 wide men. We can have Crankshaw on the bench if he's back from injury. He is. So Crankshaw on the bench. We're actually starting to get a bit of a decent squad here, aren't we? They're not the best players, but there's a little bit of depth, which is the main thing that we need at this point. Match sharpness is a problem for a lot of them. So I think we'll get a couple of the first teamers on the bench, just in case. And we'll try and do the best we can. Jack Clark can be on the bench. He's nowhere near match fit. And the same for Joe Garner as well. So he can go on for Roberts. The old boy can have a rest. And defensively, we'll have Joel Lynch as the centre-half and a right-sider. Setut will do, won't he? Let's get into the game. 2 loanees get squad numbers. Not the best players in the world, but squad depth that will keep us up in League One, I think. So I'm hoping that will be the case as we move forward. Thank you to everyone who's come along as well. Great to have you all in this evening. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you getting involved in the chat. Come and say hello if you haven't already. Come and let us know who you're managing on FM, who you support in real life. And we'll, of course, have plenty to look forward to as the season draws near. So the plan is to get through this one, and hopefully, if there's not too much sort of drama on the transfer side, we'll get the first League One game in as well, which is a tough one away at Ipswich. But 5 minutes in, it's looking good so far. We just want to try and get a result, really. Port Vale on the attack against the League 2 side, albeit a good one. We'll hope we've got a little chance. Dan Gardner's going to go into a standard advanced playmaker role. I'm not looking at the highlights, so I hope they don't concede. I think we've given away a penalty. I'm pretty sure we have. Let's go back to the action to see it. We have 9 minutes gone and we've conceded a pen. We're going to make the change, but this is going to be 1-0, is it? McCurdy up, 1-0 to Port Vale. And a disastrous start for the backup side. Don't forget, most of these players never played together before. A lot of them haven't been here. We can't judge them too much, but it's not the best first half. We'll proceed with the changes and hope it goes quiet, and then maybe we can get an equaliser. Is it going to be penalties again? That's potentially an outcome, isn't it? Here we go then. At left back, we've lost the aerial duel. And to be fair, we're a bit light on the ground still at the back. So Martin Craney would change that. We'd have 2 centre-halves for tonight then. As it's a long ball over to Will Keane. Doesn't get there. It's a little bit glitchy now. Not quite sure why. Great challenge from Tunnicliffe in the middle. Out wide to Solomon Otterbor. Charging down the right. Got pace to burn. We know that. Beats 2 men. Beats a third. And the cross is poor. Final product is missing. Palmer to Tunnicliffe. Coming forward towards Otterbor. Back to Tunnicliffe again. Not the best passer of the ball. Doesn't like to go forward too often. I can tell you that as a Luton fan. Very hard worker though. Otterbor into the box. Crosses for Will Keane. It's a brilliant save. Brilliant goalkeeping by the Port Vale number 1. What a bit of work from him. Palmer puts the ball in. It beats everyone to the back stick. And he's cleared away downfield. Not a lot happening so far. Let's see what we can do with these boys. We're going to go to the tactics. I just want to see if Will King can go into a better role. Prefers to be a deep lying forward. That's not going to suit us. I'm going to have to cancel it. 27 minutes gone, and at least we're getting back into the game. Port Vale haven't had a shot by the penalty. We've had loads, but we've not created any on target, really. And that's where I'm starting to worry. So let's go positive. See if we can get on the front foot. It's half-time, though, and somehow we trail 1-0 due to that defensive mistake. It's been a brilliant performance. I'm going to say show me something else, because that's what the assistant recommends, but it's not really what I believe, if I'm being truthful. We just need to get a result, a little bit of confidence going. Carl, I know you're a Stoke fan, but we don't have to... Other Port Vale fans social distancing. To be fair, it's the Efl Trophy. So I don't think we need to worry about that, because no fans turn up for that. And I would argue only good fans avoid that trophy, particularly since this under-21 fiasco. Palmer finds Garner to Solomon Otterbor. 1-2 with Keane, it's back to the edge. It's pop shots, isn't it? It's not great chances. Tunnicliffe's flying into challenges despite being on a yellow, but he is breaking up the play well. He's had a good game so far. We'll get an hour into him, hopefully. He's gone past that mark, so will we get him off before he gets a red? We'll see. Palmer shoots from distance, tipped over by Brown. We're creating, we're not scoring. Jones, it looks like, made the mistake for the pen. He's down on 6.2. So I'm guessing it was his fault as the ball's into Palmer. He heads over again. Oh, the frustration is rife here. 25 minutes to go. Wigan have dominated. Look at those stats. I don't know how the expected goals are like that. 6 shots on target to 1. But let's make changes. If we go to the tactics screen, who have we got available is the question. I mean, the wingers have been all right. Will Keane's been good. I don't really want to take those guys off. I mean, the most natural changes would be Tunnicliffe, who's on a yellow. He'll be replaced by Lee Evans, who will become a box-to-box midfielder. And then we'll drop Palmer to a deep line playmaker role. In terms of defence, Curtis Tilt in danger of being booked, and he's a first teamer, so let's rest him. And then we'll do the one the assistant recommends. Johnson Officer 2 on at right back. If anything, we've made our team slightly stronger with those changes. So hopefully that'll work out. Thank you for everyone coming in as well. The extra thumbs up, they do make a difference. Just a reminder for the weekend, these streams will be at 10:30 in the morning on Saturday and Sunday. Then we'll have Monday off, and then from Tuesday onwards, the weekdays at 5:30 again next week. But Saturday and Sunday, the weekends, I don't want to waste your evenings. We'll do the late mornings, and we'll get finished for all the football in the afternoon. This week, not so important with the internationals, but the week after, of course, that would be crucial. The videos, the last triple header was today, so every day onwards now, they will be taking place at 3:30, the head coach and then Bangor City rotating. So it's Bangor tomorrow, the head coach Sunday, and so on after that. But there have been 2 videos today, so check them out if you haven't already. Thank you all for your support as Port Vale 2-0 ahead. 2 shots, 2 goals, and we've had about 15. Hit the target 7 or 8 times. I mean, it's ridiculous really, isn't it? And their chances must have been very good to be that expected goals. I guess a penalty counts as almost one, doesn't it? Pierce clears one off the line. And we're getting embarrassed by a League 2 team. As Will Keane comes forward, cynical foul. I hate them. If Craig's in the comments, he'll love ones like that. But it's not looking good for us, I'm afraid. Coming up to stoppage time. Can we get a consolation? Palmer with the ball in. Evans heads wide. It's not our night. We're going out of the trophy as well. But it's all about the league game on Saturday. Ipswich, a very tough test. We'll see if we can get a result from it. Pearce finds Palmer. Out to Hines on the left wing. He's charging down the line. No real pressure on him. He's getting to the byline. The cross is poor. The final product is so bad. Palmer slides Hines in though. That's better. That's much better. Hines scores his first goal for the club. That could be an important moment regardless of this result. And he might be pushing for a start at the weekend. How we've not got something out of that game, I will never know. But we lose 2-1. We're going to point the finger. It's not good enough. The lads are motivated. And we move ahead to Saturday or Sunday even against Ipswich. Hoping we'll be able to get a reaction for the first league game. Hopefully Martin Craney will join as well. Give us that strength in depth. But other than that, I think we've got to try and do it from now. Yeah, Craig, you were loving that challenge. I knew that'd be your type. When we used to do the podcast live in person, Craig, Charlie and I would play Pro Evolution Soccer 2 for about 3 hours afterwards. And that was Craig's favourite tackle. Nathan Dyer. Now, do I want to bring him in, given the fact that we've just got Jack Clark on loan for nothing? I'm looking at the financial situation as well. But Crankshaw's wanted, so can we loan out Ollie Crankshaw? That seems a better way of doing it. We'll loan out Crankshaw. We'll get his full wages covered for that. And we'll do the same with... Who was the other one? Was it Alex Perry in the middle? Where's he rated? Yeah, he's all the way down there. So let's get Alex Perry out on loan. He's on 600 quid a week. So between those two, they've paid for a third of the wages. Dan Gardner I was looking to loan out as well, because Roberts can then be a utility man in the middle. And he's on 1.2 thousand, which is probably why no one was interested in him. But I think that'll do the job for us. We would still like a good keeper, but Jamie Jones is going to have to stick here for now. So Nathan Dyer will join the club. You can argue a panic buying, but we're trying to build a squad here. Did we get any offers in the end for Crankshaw? There's loads of things saying no. Oh yeah, they're at the top there. So Nathan Dyer joins. 3-star ability, 3-star potential. Just a good squad player and a good professional, experienced character in the dressing room. They're just as important as the players on it. The same will go for Martin Craney as well. So Fylde want him for free, which isn't happening. Kidderminster the same, isn't happening. And the same for Barnet, who are obviously cash trapped. But the other 3 will accept, because that's the full wages. The same for Aldershot and Wrexham, who want Perry. And we'll try and get ahead. Martin Craney is the one that we're waiting for now. Just to give us that squad depth, get us through to January, and then we can change it about if needed. Thank you, we're back into double figures. Loads of extra likes as well. Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone's support on the videos as well. We've gained over 100 subscribers in 2.5 days. The first video's nearly at 2,000 already. It's something I never thought I'd see. So thank you so much. Let's take a question from Sky Sports News about the mighty Nathan Dyer. Best position, attacking midfield right. He will play mainly there. I might switch to a midfield 3 with a holding midfielder, just to make us more solid at the back. I know it'll take away a goal threat, but with Tunnicliffe coming in, with the youngster from Bournemouth, and with Lee Evans back, that might suit us better. Don't forget, we only did the 4-2-3-1 for the cup game because we had no other players. So I think that might be the change we make, particularly for Ipswich away. The staff members are coming in. So we've got a recruitment analyst, a new youth physio, and a new coach as well. A couple of Irish bodies in there as well. We're still waiting on Martin Craney though. Can we get that done before the Ipswich game? Because it'd be a good player to have on the bench. We're going to send the assistant to the press conference because we're more worried about the transfers at the moment. 24 hours to kick off. And it's just whether we can get there. We're into double figures for the likes as well. Your support is incredible. On a Friday night as well. I can't believe how great you've been. Thank you so much. Ipswich will be the last game of the evening. And then we will run off for dinner quickly. Owen, you accepted Dovers who aren't paying anything for Cranshaw, I think. Let me have a look. Let's see. Oh, you're spot on. Thank you very much for spotting that. Let's get rid of Dovers and the other 3 can have him. Very good spot. You've just saved me £2,000 a month. And you've probably covered Craney's wages coming in. Why is he not signed yet? Is he that desperate to avoid us? Come on, Martin. Has he not had other options, has he? No, there's no other options there. It seems a bit strange to me. I mean, he's been starting nearly every game in real life. I'm not sure why he's rated so poorly in FM. We've sold 6,500 season tickets. That's excellent given the circumstances. We're going to quickly change the team back. We'll get into the game. And then we'll take a look. I haven't put Tunnicliffe in the squad yet. Which is why he's not showing up there. The salary cap's in game as well. So be careful of that. Maximum size of 22. Oh, the squad's too big. So who are we going to take out? I mean, Chris Merry's not great, is he? Is he better than Perry or worse than Perry? Well, Perry and Crankshaw are going out on loan. And they're the 2 that have been replaced by Tunnicliffe and Dyer. So let's get them in. I'm just checking we didn't have any under 21s registered. I'm going to need to take out 1 more to get Cranium when he comes in. It's just whether it'll be Gardner or Merry. I think it's going to be Merry. We'll leave it for now because it doesn't matter at the moment. But let's go and select the team. We're going to have Evans in goal. We'll change the shape in a moment. So 2 right back, Lynch alongside Tilt as centre half. And left back will be Palmieri, who set up that goal in the cup game. Let's get into midfield. I'm going to have to swap to a holding midfielder because I think that that's a better option than Gary Roberts. It's basically him as a number 10 or Carlos Sanchez as a holding midfielder. And I think, particularly away at Ipswich, I have to go for the holding player. So I'm going to go for Sanchez in the holding role, I think. I'm going to go for Lee Evans in midfield, who prefers to play on the right, I think. And he's naturally a playmaker. And then we're going to have on the left-hand side, the loanee from Bournemouth. It's just which one's better as a holder, which one's better as a... I think he's better going forward, so I'm going to put him box to box. Sanchez can then be a defensive midfielder or a ball winner on defence. Lee Evans can be an advanced playmaker on support or attack. Should we just go for it? Let's get him on attack. Our front's going to be Joe Garnett, we know that. On the right wing, we're going to go for Jack Clark. And on the left wing, we're going to go for Callum Lang. And Hines will be on the bench for today, I think. Or no, let's start Hines. Hines and Lang will start. Winger and inside forwards. It's a tough decision, this. It's a nice problem to have a good squad. We've got Clark on the bench. We'll have Nathan Dyer on the bench. We'll have Gary Roberts. Let's make that attacking. Tunnicliffe's going to be on the bench. I think he just edges Palmer. Cal Naismith because he's versatile. Darnell Johnson as the defender. And then Will Keane as the striker. Oh no, Otterbor, sorry. He's going to be in. So that's my squad, I think. Because Lang and Hines are both strikers. And then the other guys can go on the wing if need be. So do you think that's a decent 11? I think it's as good as it can be. Tony Pulis confirmed for Sheffield Wednesday now. Yeah, it's sort of been expected for a couple of days, hasn't it? But let's go and get into the final game. Thank you for your support as always. And we're going away to Ipswich. This could be one of the toughest days in the office in League One. Hopefully we won't get beaten by too many. They've got a very good team. So let's pump our fists. We're going to say we're an underdog. Go out there, do what you can. Carlos Sanchez not happy. We're trying our best. Into the first half we go. 5 minutes on the clock. Not looking good. No real chances so far, to be fair. We've had 3 shots, now 4. And is that a corner for us? It is. In towards Garner. Headed away as far as Lang. To Palmieri on the wing. Chance to cross from the byline. Cuts it back instead to the edge. Lynch is there. To Offerball. He goes back to Lynch and he's got a man out wide. There's Tilt. What's the centre half doing out there? Tilt's got a chance to deliver. Goes back to Offerball. To the edge to Palmieri. No one wants to shoot. They're just playing it around. Sanchez. We haven't got work ball into the box or short possession or anything like that. I think they're just playing in a comfort zone. Offerball down the line to Hines. Now can we get into gear? Hines crosses to Garner. Headed away as far as Sanchez. He's picked it up 30 yards out. Offerball through. Hines is in. Has to score. Straight at the goalkeeper. How did he not put that away? Either side and it's a goal. So frustrating. And Palmieri will deliver. Outswinger to the back stick. Headed away well and Tilt will pick up. It peters out. 10 minutes gone. We've been dominant so far. Should have scored at least one. That Hines chance was clear cut. And Ipswich have barely got a foothold in this. And I'm starting to feel that this is a bit more promising than we expected at the start. We weren't expecting much out of this season. If we can get ahead here, we'll be delighted. Half an hour gone. Ipswich still yet to threaten the goal at all. It's a really positive sign. And I'm really pleased with how things are going. I'm just a bit annoyed we haven't got the goal. At half time though, no shots on target against, 8 shots on the opposition goal, and the only thing we haven't done is score. So we're going to get up, stretch our arms, we're going to say, keep going, you've been brilliant. 2 of the lads are demotivated, so I don't know what they expect. My worry is that it's Tilt and it's Lang who are the 2 best players. Thank you to everyone that's in as well, I do appreciate the support. We're on the front foot here with Wigan and we're looking for a first day shock. Palmieri back to Offerball. Palmieri again. Can he get the ball into the box? To the byline. Back to Offerball. Crosses in. Lang's there. Oh, second time it's a great save. First one blocked. Second one saved brilliantly. We're having a few random little glitches with the match engine. Otherwise it's good. Haven't seen it in the video so it's a little bit weird. But it's into Garner. We've scored at last. Joe Garner gets on the score sheet. Great finish from the corner. It was left unmarked, which Wigan will be worried about. Or Ipswich will be worried about, sorry. But we lead away at Ipswich in the first league game. Nobody expected that. And we're playing out from the back again with Joel Lynch. Finds Tilt in his own box. Just bringing it out comfortably to the left wing to Caelan Hines. The front 3 have looked really threatening. Offerball and Evans have been solid as well. And Evans switches it there to Lang. To the byline. Chance to cross. To Garner at the edge. Back to Offerball. He could have had a go, but he wants to play back. Sanchez up to Lang. Shoots on the volley. Oh, it's disallowed. Offside given, but we are creating chances. What a performance this has been. We have absolutely pasted them. It's just whether we're going to regret the fact it's only 1-0. We've got another corner, this time from the left. An outswinger from Palmieri. Can Garner get on the end again? No, but Offerball can. First one's safe, second one's in. Ipswich's marking from corners is non-existent. But we are not going to complain one jot. With 63 minutes on the clock, it is Ipswich 0, Wigan Athletic 2. I don't think our squad's special, but they're producing a special performance. Let's go and make some changes. We're going to replace Lee Evans, who's on that yellow card. He's looking complacent. We'll get Tunnicliffe on as the box-to-box, maybe? Yeah, I think he'll be fine there. He's going to be another box-to-box. Or in fact, we could put him as a ball winner. Just try and keep it tight in the middle. In defensive midfield, Sanchez wants replacing. I'm going to keep him in there, I think. He's got the experience to do it. On the wings, I'm going to take off Caelan Hines for physicality reasons. We'll bring Jack Clark on as a winger on the right. And we'll leave the last sub for 5 or 10 more. But a brilliant 70 minutes so far. Hopefully you're pleased with this Wigan performance as well. Looks fantastic. Offerball loses out in the air. But they can't get out. That holding midfielder's working really well because they can't get out of their own defensive zone. Sanchez just mops everything up. And he's not getting a great rating. He's only playing simple passes. But he's done a sterling job for the team. And he's out here defending against Edwards. But it finds Bishop eventually. And this is Ipswich's chance. To McGavin. Over the top. Norwood's there. And we know Norwood's a brilliant goal scorer. He only needs one chance to score. And he has done it there. And with 15 to go, with their first effort on target, or their third as it says there, Ipswich are back in the game. Definitely a worry for us. Sanchez is now rated poorly. So I've got to find a way around this without ruining the defence. It says Katouk can play in there, so I'm going to put him in the holding role as a ball winner on defence. And then at right back, I'll bring on Darnell Johnson. There we go. 6 minutes plus stoppage time. Can we hold on? Craig, you're going to be happy in a moment because we're going to have a there's the time wasting into 4 minutes of stoppage time. And we're going to do exactly that. Time waste all the time. Be disciplined. Slow it down. Hold our shape. Drop the attacking line. And keep it as tight as physically possible. 4 minutes from a brilliant result. Ipswich have come back into it last 20. But we're still on course for that victory. And we're 1 minute of stoppage time away. I'm watching the clock as we have done it. Ipswich 1, Wigan 2. A stunning performance, really. Nobody expected that. Well done on a great result. Everyone had written you off. And after one day, we are in the playoffs with 3 points from our first fixture in the Championship. Absolutely fantastic. I'm so pleased with that result. I'm so pleased with the performance. And I could not be happier. A brilliant way to finish the stream on this Friday evening. We'll let you all go off and get your dinner now as we finish on a high. And we'll skip ahead to next Saturday, and that's where we'll be back in the morning. 10:30 tomorrow morning, we'll have Gillingham, Pompey. We'll try and get to Liverpool or Crewe, one of those two. And then that's a cracking end to the month for Sunday morning. Fingers crossed you enjoyed this one. I hope you'll be back in the morning. Thank you again for your incredible support as always. I do appreciate it. A full replay will be available if you've missed any of it along the way. But thank you for watching. Thank you for coming along. Please do subscribe if you're new. Check out the videos on the channel. And I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10:30 as we'll be back to carry on that brilliant start with Wigan Athletic. Thanks for coming along.